There's no denying that the amount of games coming out at the moment is incredibly overwhelming. Just thinking about my backlog is enough to make me want to shed a tear.
Kara began lamenting the fact that the number of games in her backlog had grown larger than the number of which she could count. She fell deeper and deeper into a Steam sale.
The amount of time I need to dedicate to even starting to chip away at it isn't the only reason I'm feeling particularly swamped. Games are getting more expensive. There's no easy way to say it. And because of this, it's hard to know which ones are worth investing in. The amount of times I've bought a game and it's sat in my library untouched for months on end, gathering virtual dust, it's unreal. More often than not, they're things I've found in sales or games my friends have begged me to play before going offline and never returning just as my game downloads. So, I've become a bit of a non-committal gamer who's a little afraid to spend any more money on something I might not even play. Luckily, there is a huge variety of cozy games you can play without spending a penny, which is particularly great for someone like me who is constantly flip-flopping about what they want to play. So, whether you want something quick to play through in one sitting, or if you're looking for something to come back to time and time again, I want to share with you a selection of my favourite free cozy games so you can always have something to play, no matter what. I'm Kara, this is Cozy Corner, and today we're talking about my favourite cozy games completely free of charge. An Average Day at the Cat Cafe is my all-time favourite free game to recommend, and I'm so excited to talk about it, I don't even want to do a full introduction, I just want to jump right in. I was told to play it by our friend Ellie here at PC Gamer after I was complaining about not knowing what to do, and they introduced me to what I can now only describe as one of the most addictive games on all of itch.io. Seriously, there have been nights where I've woken up wanting to play this rather than go back to sleep. During your day at the Cat Cafe, you'll serve numerous customers drinks, and you need to create their specific orders from scratch and serve them in good time to guarantee their satisfaction. When you've progressed enough, you'll get to serve food too, which definitely makes the experience that little bit more stressful, but still rewarding when you make meals on time. At night though, your regular visitors are replaced by bands of monsters, ghosts, and sort of gremlins that have a bizarre way of ordering. There's a little guy as well who walks in butt first, and you need to go to the storeroom and give him toilet paper rather than a drink, or else he won't leave. Frankly, I don't want to be responsible for whatever mess he leaves behind, so I do as I'm told and pray that he leaves quickly. It's all very laid back, and there's not really any way you can mess it up. I've accidentally spent hours playing this, and it's made even easier to do so since you can play it directly in your browser without the need for any apps or downloads. In fact, itch.io is a hub for games low in cost or entirely free. A lot of the time developers will ask for a donation towards the project, but you'll still be able to access it without spending a cent. Cheeky Chooks is another of my favourite itch gems, giving you the chance to become the best chicken farmer around in a simple yet satisfying game loop. Everything is in the palm of your hands while you build your Chook empire. There are mini-games to play, events to participate in, and a ton of different Chook varieties to uncover. Once again, it's one of those games that will consume your day without you realising, especially since there are no ads or pop-ups to remind you that a world exists outside of your virtual chicken empire. And once I'm in that headspace, nothing, and I mean nothing, can pull me out of it. Steam is also another great place for the occasional hidden free gem. Kinoko, a short adventure game spanning around 15 minutes, is another recommendation I always suggest for someone looking for a game that won't consume all of their time, but offers something with a little more story. In its incredibly short playtime, you essentially bring the Earth back to life after a harsh winter. Not only does this involve using magic to melt snow, it also means planting flowers and waking animals up after hibernation. It's surprisingly emotional for a game so short, but again, a lot of my time here was spent obsessing over the tiny hedgehog sprites that you help about halfway through. If you wanted something a little more straightforward and you weren't quite ready to jump into a whole new adventure, then maybe it's worth checking out 100 Hidden Frogs. This puzzle game is exactly what it says on the tin, tasking you with finding 100 hidden frogs, convenient, across a woodland scene. It's a great way to pass the time and direct your focus to a task so simple yet so consuming. But if you don't quite have the time for a whole game, it's also important to never underestimate the power of demos when you're searching for your next adventure to embark on. I am an absolute creature of habit when it comes to the games I often reach for. The amount of life simulators in my Steam library is frankly embarrassing. So straying away from what I'm used to and know I enjoy is intimidating. Fortunately, these bite-sized chunks of games are sometimes just enough to scratch the itch of a new game without having to invest much time into it, which is perfect for that pick-up-and-play craving when you've got some spare time at your PC. It also helps to bulk out your wishlist for later down the line. I also use demos of games as a way to see whether or not I think I'd like a different genre or style of game without feeling the pressure of spending money on it and forcing myself to enjoy it just because I spent that cash. This feeling comes up quite a lot, actually. Generally, I find utilising demos and playing free games tends to offer a more relaxing experience than games I've put a lot of money into. I can take my time with it just because there's no need to get my money's worth, and I'm more likely to recommend them because I don't have to justify the price tag. More often than not, I'll say, yeah, it's worth a go for a game that's free to play just because there's no obligation to check it out or need to invest in it. And the same applies to demos. I love to recommend game demos, even if it's not a genre the person I'm recommending it to usually plays, just because there isn't that pressure of paying for it. Plus, demos are getting longer and longer each time an event like Steam Next Fest rolls around. I don't know if it's the demos I'm picking or if I'm working through them incredibly slowly, but I swear that there's more game on offer than you expect. If you've got any free games that you'd like to share, be sure to drop me a comment down below so I can continue to put off playing through my backlog for even longer. Seriously, at this point I'm more games I have to play than games I want to play, which isn't really a good look. Subscribe to PC Gamer if you'd like to join me in Cozy Corner next time too, unless you're swept up in all of my wonderful recommendations, of course. You're welcome in advance. That's all from me.